Okay, guys, we're here. The Fintastic Four, our next to last episode of the season. We should have been longer, but I don't know. Sunday was not a good day, was it, guys?
No, it wasn't.
No.
That was terrible. Terrible.
Nick has got it perfect. It was a dumpster fire of a game. Um,
Yep.
it was a dumpster fire of a season, if you ask me. I don't know where to start about Sunday. Um, First off, let's face it, the Dolphins could have won 70-0. It still wouldn't have mattered. They wouldn't have made the playoffs anyway.
Correct.
Because
Okay.
Kansas City decided to play their JV, which I don't blame them either.
I wouldn't blame them.
Um, but the way they lost, the way they played, and who they lost to, that was just
It's disgusting.
pathetic. And I'm gonna go right into it. I mean, hours after the game, Stephen Ross put out that press release that it sucks. I'm sorry. Da, 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 da. We're going to be onward and upward, forward. And he's keeping McDaniels and he's keeping Greer.
Well, we
Uh,
knew that.
uh, I
Um,
personally say keep McDaniels for one more season, see how he does, give him one more shot. Greer, he's got to go.
he's got
I
to go.
say throw more money to our defensive coordinator so he sticks around.
Yeah, I would say that
Please.
Yeah.
we found our defense.
Please. Don't let
Even
anyone
though
take him.
even though Aaron Rodgers looked like the old Aaron Rodgers of old, with 4 touchdown passes, I think the defense kind of gave up, was doing a little scoreboard watching, right? But at the end of the day, the defense did a lot better this. Well, I would say there was a good defense this year, top 10.
Because this was the offense right
Yeah,
there.
the offense just couldn't
So I don't know how
run.
the defense can play if we're just going to keep fumbling the ball nonstop.
Before we
Yeah,
get into defense and offense, I want to
yeah,
hit on a point Jose just
Do it.
made.
yep,
They were watching a scoreboard, and that team looked like they gave up.
yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's no doubt about that.
I didn't see any intensity out there. They looked like going in through the motions.
Well,
Um,
it was worth three draft positions higher. If we would have won that game and went into the postseason, we would have been picking 16th or worse. And by losing that game, we gained three positions. Now we're picking 13th. So even though I hated losing to the Jets, I would have preferred to lose to any other team besides the Jets. The loss actually helped us in the long run because we weren't going to make the playoffs anyway. So just it leaves a bad taste in the mouth losing to the Jets. But
even
I'll take the three spots up in the draft order.
I like the three spots, but even at the opening kickoff, when they still didn't know what the Denver was going to be doing, they sucked.
Three and
They were
out.
playing lifeless. They started. I mean, it looked bad. Um,
Well, I mean, it was
Well,
three
they
and out
knew
right off the bat. I mean, 3 and out. I think it was first
Yep.
2 drives or first 3 drives were like 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And I'm like, come on, guys, we can get a first down. But I,
We
I
went
think the problem right now is that, there was no running game. The running game was bad. So you back up your two safeties to cover the wideouts and the over the top, and they still can't generate a run. And that's typically a formula for a good running game is, you get the safeties back, and then you can typically generate a run and be able to run it until the safeties start cheating, right? Then you can rip the top off the defense, right? But this year and especially in that game, they weren't generating a run except for the one play that we had for the long touchdown, right? We needed more of that this year, and that's what we were missing this year, and that's why we weren't getting deep throws to Tyreek and Waddle, and of course, what happened after the game because of that.
well, let's stick to
We
the offense.
Yeah,
Everybody was like anointing Huntley as some grand savior after Cleveland because he put up
yeah,
20 points against the Cleveland Browns.
yeah, yeah. I don't think we were saying he was the grand savior. What we were saying was that was the game that he had to have.
And
And it was a preseason game, is a game that he had to have coming into playing another bad team, right? So you beat one bad team, you should be able to beat the other bad team and that just didn't work out.
He had
Nobody
one
said
good quarter against
nope.
Cleveland,
I
and
don't think
then
anyone. I don't think anyone in the Fantastic Four anointed him as the next great quarterback.
Nick, you keep on shaking your head.
Nope.
Nope.
I'm not on Team Huntley. Nope.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna say we did start out with 3 and out, and then right after that we get an interception and started the 15, 16-yard line, and we still can't even get the ball in the end zone. And we end up with 3 points right off the bat. You come down the middle of the game. We turned the ball over on 4 consecutive drives. I mean, if I'm the defense, what the hell am I playing for? You're going to turn the ball over 4 drives in a row when you have great field position. That's what pisses me off. We started at the 40-yard line. You start driving, interception. We get the ball down at the 27 off of that kickoff return. And I knew he was going to do it because I even called it out to the friends I was sitting with. I'm like, we're not even going to score from this. And boom, interception. It's the story of the Miami offense.
Yeah. I was watching a game, and halfway through the first quarter, I go, "This game's over."
Yeah,
the Jets are going to win.
It's 2 things. It falls on the shoulders of Greer for not getting us quality, backups, and then it falls on the shoulders of Coach for not putting his players into the positions to succeed, like Shula used to do, right? And so you can't continue with the same offense if you're going to play Huntley, right? And I think Coach has a hard time going beyond, Tua as far as driving his offense.
Well, Coach turned into Adam Gase. It was just one receiver bubble screen play after another, and we know that those plays don't work. I mean, you get lucky once in a while with that play if you catch them by surprise.
Yeah.
But if they know it's coming, I mean, he's literally turned into Adam Gase.
They had to do the bubble screen because every time he dropped back to go deep, I mean, he was taking his life in his own hands. I mean, that offensive line is terrible.
Terrible.
There's they can't run block and they can't pass block. Other than that, they're fantastic.
I saw a post saying that Coach had overridden Greer in the last draft, and he wanted to beef up on the offensive line, and of course, Coach wanted skilled players, and in the end, and apparently, there's been some comments made by Greer this year that we're going to invest in the offensive line through the draft this year, right? There won't be skilled players like there was in the last couple of drafts.
I think that's true, but I don't think the first pick is going to be an offensive lineman. The first pick will be a skill player, and then the rest of the picks.
That's usually the way it goes.
They'll address the lines. Yeah.
Very few offensive linemen out there. Very few offensive linemen ever go in the first round. They're always second, third rounders. It's usually skill players or defensive linemen, pass rushers. Right? You rarely see a nose tackle. The Warren Sapps are rare in the first round.
Agreed.
And it boggles the mind. Ever since I played Pop Warner football, you can have mediocre skill players, but if you got a good offensive line, they're all pros. If you give the quarterback enough time and you give the receivers enough time, I don't care. An average wide receiver is going to get open eventually. All right. You give them that extra 3/4 of a second or extra second to go out there. I don't care who it is. I don't care who's back there covering them. You can't cover for more than a few seconds.
That's right.
And I don't understand. It's like, it's a cliche, but it's true. The game is won in the trenches. Why is it so hard?
Injury. We started off with a great offensive line. We had a left and right tackle that were outstanding. We were running the ball extremely well, and then the injuries started mounting. Austin Jackson, I think our right tackle, went down early in the season, and then Armstead was in and out of games. Sometimes he played, sometimes he didn't with a bad knee. So it was, we were just mixing and matching with the offensive line. Once our 2 tackles were not available, then that really hurt us.
No, well, you don't have to worry about Armstead any longer because it looks like the Dolphins are releasing him already,
Mm.
which is
He
kind
might
of
even
surprising.
retire.
Yeah,
He wanted to retire last season, but they
Yeah.
talked him into staying.
yeah. I swear, if Eichenberg comes back next year on that team, I am becoming a Chargers fan.
Maybe he'll go to the Chargers, and then you can be a Chargers fan with him there.
Yeah, I'll go over to the stadium and have a talk with the Chargers for you. I'm in San Diego this week, which is
Except the Chargers in LA.
amazingly beautiful city and great weather right now in San Diego.
Oh, San
And
Diego's
we don't have the
gorgeous.
Chargers.
No more Chargers.
Chargers in LA.
Yeah, the Chargers are in the playoffs with a quarterback that the Dolphins could have drafted, but instead took Tua. You know, Herbert doesn't miss games, does he?
Rarely.
No, he doesn't.
Well, we've talked about the offense and everything all this time, but we have not addressed the elephant in the room, which is Tyreek Hill.
The little elephant.
The little elephant.
He said he wanted out, but I think he's going to backtrack on that.
He did.
He did already. Yeah,
he did. They hashed it all out.
He can't get out of that. I mean, who's going to take
That's dead money.
I think next year is like 56 million or something like that.
That's
it's ridiculous money.
Yeah.
It's just
nobody's going to take a contract for somebody that's going to poison your locker room.
And it was just reported that he met with Greer, and Greer said he never mentioned anything about a trade. So he ain't going nowhere.
I think Drew Rosenhaus got to him, his agent, and said, "Shut the F up. You're stand to lose a lot of money."
But even if he did go, I mean, I think the dead money is like 26 million or something like that.
Insane amount of money.
Yeah. Where would he go? I mean,
in fact, when he pulled himself out of that game,
Cleveland,
he opened the door for the Dolphins to be able to not pay him a lot of money, which I think they're going to go ahead and pay him the money. But he opened that door. Speaking of open doors, he opened the door to save the Dolphins a lot of money by pulling himself out of that game, because that opened the loophole in his contract. They could have paid him a lot of that guaranteed money, which I think they're going to pay him because they want him to stay. I think we all want him to stay. But, I mean, he was upset. We were all upset after the game. Tony was.
Here's my question. My question is Tyreek toxic to the Dolphins? Right? Because leading up to his trade with Kansas City, right? They hadn't been to the Super Bowl like in a couple of years, right? And then all of a sudden he leaves, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, bam, bam, 2 Super Bowls back to back, and now they're looking at.
He won the Super Bowl with Kansas City.
Yeah,
he won the Super Bowl with Kansas City.
He wanted the ball more.
Yeah, he didn't win that Super Bowl that year, right? He was coming off a year where they hadn't won the Super Bowl. As a matter of fact, they had been 2 years without winning a Super Bowl, right? So I think I'm starting, and then all of a sudden they're back on their feet. They're not looking back for Tyreek anymore, right? They're winning Super Bowls. They won 2 back to back. They're looking at a third one in the face. Right. I mean, who's going to beat them this year? Who knows? Right. So I don't know if Tyreek is toxic. He might be.
It just proves my point.
Teammate.
He just doesn't think.
I think Tyreek's a great teammate. I think he practices hard every practice. I think he's great in the locker room. I just think he was upset for not making the playoffs. Go ahead.
A lot of people
that man had a lot of veteran rest this year. Okay, I don't know what the hell the deal is with all that, with these guys not practicing half the season. Maybe they should get out on the field, lace up the cleats, catch the ball, and we don't have these problems.
I was listening to a lot of Dolphin players. They were really upset with what he said. They go, they're giving the party line, oh, he's entitled to say whatever he wants, but he should have kept it inside. Some of that
to a degree.
And I don't care how much you like Tyreek. If you're a Miami Dolphins player and you're busting your ass out there, and this guy decides to
quit
sit
on
his
you.
ass down, he doesn't want to play anymore in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, when you're on the defense where you're playing every play, busting your ass, hitting people, a wide receiver he gets maybe 7 or 8 plays. He actually does anything. You know.
Okay, guys,
I love the guy.
It's been a great season. I can't wait till the draft party for us.
But we got one more show next week.
Was it next week?
I'll let you know all about it. It's a surprise.
All right, all right. Sounds good.
So Jose's got to go, guys. So everybody say till next week. We'll see you next week.
All right, take it easy.
Enjoy San Diego.
All right, bye-bye.
Now with Jose gone down, I'm going to really throw it into the fire here. I'm going to say something about Tyreek that he's lost a step. Last year and the year before and before that, he'd blow by people. He just run past them. This year, he wasn't running past anybody.
I don't think
can you recall any game where he was wide open, where he blew by people? The first game, that long pass, I forgot who we were playing the first game of the season. He got that one. After that, they stopped him. He didn't get free.
They're not going to give that up anymore. The league.
I think it's mainly the routes that he was running, the plays that were called with the 2 deep safeties. Teams figured out how to stop that with the 2 deep safeties. And so coach started calling the plays that were, these slant plays, these hook plays, these plays that really took away his speed.
These shitty plays. Let's call them what they all are.
Adam Gase plays.
If Tyreek's supposed to be an elite receiver, I look at other elite receivers in the NFL throughout history. Think of every great wide receiver, Chris Carter, Jerry Rice, whoever. You don't think they were constantly double covered? You don't think they went into a game, the team goes, hey, we got to watch out for Jerry Rice. We got to double cover him, triple team. And they still got their catches and they still set their records. So being double covered shouldn't mean nothing for a great receiver. All right.
I think he was in his own head, maybe. I don't know, because he had a lot of drops this year.
That could be the wrist. He kept playing through this wrist injury that every doctor that he went to said that he needed to have surgery on this wrist, and I'm sure he's going to have the surgery. But he elected to keep playing, and that's probably why he got veteran rest and things like that, to not re-injure that wrist. And he injured the wrist, I think, in the preseason, and then when he got handcuffed with his face to the ground, I think that aggravated it, and he never was quite the same after that.
My question is, why didn't we force him to sit out? You know what I mean? We do the player safety thing. We sat Tua for 4 weeks when we probably didn't need to.
Yeah.
But we don't do it with Tyreek, who's clearly being impacted by it.
Well, that's the decision that they came to this decision that it was not going to further injure the wrist, that it wasn't going to make it worse. Whereas with Tua, like with his hip or his head, it would certainly get worse.
I hear that, but
the wrist surgery could wait till the off season.
The guy's playing at half his ability, though.
Yeah, and as bad as his wrist might have been or could have been, that doesn't affect his feet.
No.
Okay.
Still love him. Yeah, still
sorry.
love the guy. He's talented.
And the other guy nobody talks about who had a disappointing season, even though he did miss 2 games, but still his stats are pretty lame compared to the year before. Waddle. Where was he all year? I'm looking at his stats.
He was also injured.
He missed 2 games from an injury late in the season, but
where did Penguins go? Antarctica?
I
think he got lost up there.
I look, he 0 catches against Houston, only 2 against the Raiders. 2 against the Bills. 3 against the Chargers, 1 against Indianapolis, the Colts. He was lost. His best game was against the Jets and New England early in the season. Other than that, he was nowhere to be found either.
Size.
Johnny Smith, he basically sucked up all the oxygen in the room because he was just so. actually the best tight end the Miami Dolphins have ever had, statistically and any other way you want to look at it. He's just great, and I
Second
really
best. I'm sorry. Don't ever diss Larry Seipel.
very simple. He
It's
was
too
a punter.
soon.
He was a glorified punter.
He was a punter and a tight end.
It's too soon.
Okay, as soon as Smith starts dropping some punts inside the 10-yard line, then I'll show him that love. Okay.
I actually thought you were going to say Jim Mad Dog Mandich, which I could kind of agree with because he was a Super Bowl winning tight end.
Yeah, but he was also the backup tight end to Marv Fleming.
But I
No, but
I
Smith
know
was
you
a heck
weren't
of a
going to
player.
say Joe Rose. Joe Rose was the best tight end the Dolphins have ever had. He caught Dan Marino's first touchdown pass,
And he also
and that's
caught the
all he
only touchdown pass that Marino threw in a Super Bowl.
There you go.
There you go.
He's number one.
And then proceeded to get real angry after Shula cut him and went on the radio and badmouthed Shula for 10, 15 years, however long
Wouldn't
it was.
you?
No.
Yeah.
So did Jake Scott. So did a lot of other people.
We really need that size on the outside, though. We need a receiver
That's
6'2",
true.
because you know what, Janu's amazing. He's a big guy, but you need a one-on-one on the outside that can go up the field, one-on-one, man versus man.
Tyreek is a glorified slot receiver. You know, he doesn't have the size to be that outside
you see him,
guy.
They throw the deep ball to him one-on-one, but he can't do it when it's contested because the defenders are taller than him.
Yeah, he can't get high enough to high point the ball.
He can't even get through them, which is ridiculous. Just run into him, get the pass interference at least.
Yeah, I forgot what game it was where it was like 3rd and goal, and they threw to him in the corner like one of those plays where you throw it up there, and I'm like, no, not the Tyreek Hill. I mean, of all the players,
if he catches it, but that's not a 50-50 ball. It's like a 25-75 ball.
Exactly. Well, at least we can laugh about this year. What I want to do, we'll have to catch up, Jose. When you guys should catch up, Jose, on this next week. This is what we're going to do. I want you guys to take a week. I want you guys to each have your own personal MVP on the offense, MVP on the defense. All right,
it's easy.
We got to have one for special teams, so Nick can be happy.
They are my offensive.
They're all easy. Those are easy. I can name them right now.
All right. Also, what's the word we could use? The
worst.
The worst, the easily replaceable
LVP.
player, the worst, the most harmful, because you can be a bad player, but at least you still try. The most harmful player in offense, and the most disappointing player in offense, and most disappointing player in defense. Right. Then we'll come back again and go, what's the one thing we need on offense, and what's the one thing we need on defense, and what do we need in special teams? Okay. And of course, the answer for special teams is always Larry Seipel.
Larry Seipel, yeah. Will he come out of retirement? Is he still alive? Is the question.
He's still alive. He's still alive.
Okay, good.
If you look up
they're dropping like flies. Those 72 Dolphins are dropping like flies out there.
If you look up his stats as a receiver, he had a couple years where he had over 40 catches. And we're talking in a 14-game season when if Greasy threw 20 passes, that was like he was going pass happy. All right. So what do you guys think? Just to end the season that way? Because obviously, no playoffs this year, guys.
Yeah. Season in review.
He's kind of a review. You know, who do we like? What
prep for the draft?
Okay. Oh, and the one other thing I forgot this: the moment of the year. What made the season?
Moment.
What ended the season for you?
That's easy.
That one I have to think about. The rest of them are easy.
And
when
no, you
when
can't
the Chiefs
say
did not score.
You can't say that Chris Greer woke up. on January 1st.
When the season finally ended.
Anyway, guys, I think that's about it because all we're gonna do is we can go on and on and on and bitch and moan about the game and everything, and we're not gonna get anything really done. Everybody's heard everything already. Let's just get ready for next week and do that. And then we can after that, then we'll talk about the draft. What do you say?
Okay.
I like it. Can I do a shout out here?
Sure, shout out all you want.
All right. So we started this journey, 7, 8 years ago, Jeff? How long have we been doing this?
Yeah. I would
Sounds
say
about right. 8, maybe.
I posted something that was from 7 or 8 years ago. A picture of us out there, and you with terrible face painting.
Yeah.
You started off so amateurish.
I did, and then it blossomed into what I am now. So
now
I just wanted to.
Fan.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll have you as a special guest on the Fintastic Four next season.
Beautiful, beautiful. I can't wait. I just wanted to thank the artists that did the work for me. I wanted to thank Ashley for the work that she did. Always had me ready on game day. Her creativity, it gave me a character that I get to bring to life. It's something that I enjoy, but more importantly, it's something fun and exciting for everybody at the tailgate, the other fans that I interact with throughout the stadium. And for that, I'm forever grateful because that 49ers game was her final game at the stadium. So I'll miss her.
So what are you going to do?
So that's what I was going to get to. So I'd also like to thank both Ashley and Vanessa for giving me the unique design that I sport, because I'm the only one that does the split colors with that mask that I wear. And it's all on you now, Vanessa.
Thank
you both.
You guys get all these other super fans on the show. How come we haven't had these girls on the show?
Hey, you know what?
Artists.
They're my artists.
So we got to get them on. Let's show them some love.
Yeah, so for everybody out there that knows me, you know.
Okay.
They've seen me. Not like this, you know.
Are we talking like a Me Too moment right now?
Me too. Oh boy.
Dude, I haven't canceled somebody in a long time.
I've been waiting to get canceled. It took forever.
So we are doing a Super Bowl party, I believe, at Lewis and Gigi's.
Yes.
I think we can get Tony over there to that.
Sounds like a plan.
Although I don't think Nick will be there.
No, I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can figure this out. I don't know though.
Where are you? Are you back in Jersey?
Currently, I'm in Maryland filming.
Maryland, okay.
Yes.
What do you do?
I've been all over this season for this podcast.
All right, guys, great show.
It's been great.
Let's end it. Guys out there, like, subscribe, give us some comments. Dumpster fire. We want to hear about it. Was it a dumpster fire you, or are you still happy with the season? We'll be back. One more show for the season next week. Season ender review. Fintastic Four. If you see Jose in San Diego, wave to him.
Hi, Jose.
We love you guys.